Thank you for staying with us. And the conversation this time is still about the state of the state, Osun State, the local government administration, and what has been happening. The latest development is the intervention of the State House of Assembly, or State House of Assembly, where they made, through the Speaker, Right Honorable Obaditan, had a press conference, and they spoke about what is happening, especially as far as fund is concerned. It is a coveted, controversial local government fund. And that was the real, content and maybe more of that press conference held, excuse me, by the Speaker of the State House of Assembly. And he addressed journalists at the House of Assembly complex. That was on Sunday, actually, not yesterday. He detailed that 25 million was paid to each of the 30 local government. You remember that, there was this, the local government fund has been paid, but the state government has been talking of withholding. There was a particular UBA account that was said to have been opened, for this particular purpose. And some of the APC, stalwarts are saying they have access right now. And so they have the fund and they have been paying salaries of traditional rulers and all of those things. But the State House of Assembly chairman, Speaker, spoke on the matter. And I'd rather allow you to watch, a part of what is said.
These individuals have no legal mandate. They are not recognized by law, by the courts, or by the Constitution. Their continued presence in local government secretariat is illegal and must not go on unchecked. Disbursement of local government funds by Mr. Gboyega Oyetola. Mr. Gboyega Oyetola, a nephew to the president, has no constitutional, statutory, or moral authority to control local government funds, issue instructions on local government funds, influence banks, or direct security agencies in respect of local government administration. Being related to the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria confers no legal power to interfere in the affairs of the Osun State local government. Nigeria is governed by laws, not family ties. The House is particularly alarmed by credible information that huge sums of local government funds have been paid under the directive of Mr. Gboyega Oyetola. 1. 25 million naira payment to each of the 30 illegal APC local government chairmen. 2. 12 million naira payment to each of the 30 illegal APC local government vice chairmen. 3. 10 million naira payment to each of the 332 illegal APC local government councillors. 4. 130 million naira each to selected traditional rulers in Osun State. 5. 13 billion naira legal fees payment to Lionu and Co., lawyers representing the illegal chairmen and councillors. 15% of deposited fund is 13 billion naira. See attached letter. We have a copy of the letter here. Please note that local government funds are being used illegally.
All right, that's the position of the State House of Assembly, as said by the Speaker, Dewale Egbedu. I have two gentlemen here, Barrister Moses Obaditan, of course, comrade is here as well, Olatubosun Olabomi, civil society activist. Thank you, gentlemen, for being here.
Thank you very much for having us.
All right, you heard the Speaker, and he made very categorical statement with figures, to back it up, and he accused former governor of the state, Alhaji Gboyega Oyetola, of being the one directly giving these instructions, and one will, let me start with Barrister Obaditan. We expect that a person of the caliber, of the stature of the number 3 man in the state will understand categorical statements, the import of being categorical, making allegations, talking about figures, and adducing, some of these directives to a former governor. What can you make about this particular intervention, quote-unquote intervention, by the Speaker of the House?
Well, taking cognizance of the position he's occupying, and then looking at the constitutional provision to Section 7(8), we give the supervisory power of the local government to the State House Assembly. So I'm sure he will not be speaking in vacuum. It's likely, and he has shown us some evidence. And in court, we said evidence speaks for itself. So if it is true, then the former governor has committed an illegality. No matter his relationship with the president, it's not backed up by the law.
If it is true.
That's what I'm even saying. If it is true. But you know, he has assembled some facts, he has brought some figure, and then even rumorsly. And I think 2 or 3 weeks ago, the Sunday Tribune, I had a copy at home. And I have to call a colleague of mine who happened to be a bank manager. Will you be in Osun? I didn't want to be speaking on him. And I said, how can your bank get involved with people who are not officers of the local government, people who are no longer on the seat, especially when an issue like this is coming up at the court? He just laughed. He didn't see anything. So to some degree, based on what I read on paper, based on what he's saying now, and let's assume it is not so, then that will be fine. But if it is so, he may be occupying position today. A power may come in today because sometimes people commit a crime. Okay, look, let's just deviate a bit. The former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, was there yesterday. No, he was the one who would tell you that something, and he would just send and say, please drop this case. EFCC, give me this file. Today he's cooling down in the prison because he has violated the law. So no one, not even the president. And I remember the case of Ganifa Emi versus Olatubosun in Lagos. And they said, no, you cannot take Olatubosun as a governor to the court. However, the Inspector General of Police has a right to gather information. When he ceases to be governor, then he can be brought for trial. So even if the president is the one doing this one, he may be immune by the Section 308 of the Nigerian Constitution. But when he seeks to be in power, so talk less. Mr. Agboyega, you told us if it is so, he is not immune because he's no more governor. He's not a minister and can be summoned to court to answer for his question, or his misdeeds. Yeah.
All right, Barrister, this back and forth has gone on for a very long time. And in this particular statement, especially the refuting of the reports that was given by, and the statement, the press statement that was given by Adewale Egbedo, the Speaker of the Osun State House of Assembly. The chairman of the local governments across Osun State under the umbrella of the Osun Algon have described statements by the Speaker of the House of Assembly, Adewale Egbedo, as deliberate falsehoods, rants, and lies aimed at sustaining the attempts to mislead the public. That being said, now we're talking about these allegations, the opening of these bank accounts. As a lawyer, these accounts were supposed to be opened. I mean, it's stated here that they were lawfully opened by the chairman of the councils. What would you say to that particular that act, the opening of those accounts? Even though the local councils now have autonomy, yes, but the opening of the accounts, were there no subsisting, accounts already? What happened, or what is to happen to these accounts now?
All over the federation, we have 774 local governments in the federation. All of them have accounts with bank where they are collecting their monthly allocation. So because of the dispute in Osun State, some say they are still in power, some say they just come in, and we were informed that some maybe elected local government chairmen who are no longer in office, according to what court has said, but you still claim they are in the office. They are the one who use an individual to open. And in fact, the court have declared some people wanted. In fact, they have taken some measure against UB over the same issue. So if you find people who do that kind of thing, and I think by my background, my first degree is in political science. I read master's degree in foreign policy. By that little thing, you cannot operate a local government or a government account by an individual who is not within. It is not even for the president, it's not even for the governor to operate the account. It is the permanent secretary, the director in that Ministry of Finances, another officer who will prepare voucher, take the voucher to the audit, from audit, they vet it before sending it to bank. So you cannot stay outside and then open another account, leaving the one that's in existence previously. And even when they were asking this one, they went to court and obtain an injunction restraining UBA from releasing the account. Yesterday in the paper I bought, it was alleged that the president and to the general federation knows about the issue. Perhaps, that's the allegation, and based on what the Osun people are saying, that, and the governor, that they were authorized, or they authorized the central bank to release money to UBA. If this thing are done, it shows to us that we are like people who are in Banana Republic. It shows to us we are people. If it is so, that's what I'm trying to say. It shows we do not go by the law. Because if you are not within the system, anything you do is fraudulent.
All right, all right. Because of time, let me go to Comrade Olatubosun here. Now, the reaction by the Osun Algon chairman, that is on the part of the APC now, the one they call yes or no. Samuel Idowu dismissed the Assembly's allegation, accusing the lawmakers of spreading falsehood. Just like Topera the other time, the Assembly needs to tell the world how a minister will be diverting funds seized by the federal government. How can the same funds you claim were withheld stalling grassroots projects now be alleged to have been diverted to private pockets? The Assembly must do better than pushing false narratives. Now, also, Oyetola's special advisor, Dr. Bolaji Akinola, described the Assembly's claims as fabricated and malicious, calling them a reckless propaganda designed to distract the public from the state government's own failures and ongoing legal battle. So it's a back and forth between the Osun State House of Assembly and the Algon chairman, from the APC end. But, why the Osun State Assembly, through the speakers, made these allegations, 30 million to this, 12 million to this, 13 billion or so to that, the Osun, in that particular report, none of these figures, were really refuted. So, according to the report I have here, it's all about, you are fabricating, you are spreading falsehoods. The real figures, those things, they didn't respond to them. What do you say to that?
Thank you very much. I am very happy with what Barrister Moses Obaditan said before about the concept of the rule of law. Now, if we're saying that we're not in Banana Republic, we have processes, we have protocol, we have the rule of law. Now, one of the challenges I've had over the time over this is the fact that we are not even sure we're supposed to be legally occupying these offices. Now, if the law has not been able to give us expressly the information we need about who should be running something, then that is a challenge on its own. That's number one. Then number two, the speaker has spoken. He gave numbers. He gave figures. And he also mentioned and showed a copy of the letter that he had with him. Now, according to what Barrister said, he actually means that he must have a source. Being the speaker, he's not speaking out of vacuum. Now, he has said everything he has said on live press conference. Now, you as the Algon chairman of the APC, all you need to do is give proper responses. He has mentioned a particular amount to the chairman. There are some
25 million naira to local government chairman, 12 million to the advice, 10 million to each of the 332 APC councillors, 130 million naira to selected traditional rulers, and 13 billion as legal fees.
Now, he has mentioned, in fact, he even mentioned that it was one particular law firm, Lionel and Co. He has given all this information. All you need to do is just tell us where this money is actually disbursed. Did Lionel and Co. get paid for doing a particular job for you? Now, the monies that were being disbursed, what are they supposed to be meant for? No, sir. I will give a particular point here. Now, we had a challenge from my own hand, from the organization I work with, One House Development Initiative, and we had this interaction with, because we work in the thematic areas of education, health, and inclusion, and we had this interaction with the Ministry of, with SUBEB and TESTEB and some basic other parts, TESCOM and the likes of them. And we're looking at, okay, we have situations within the space of education. One of the problems, I think a communique was drafted, and I think that particular material should be in the studio as well. Now, the idea is this. We have less than 6,000 teachers in Osun State. Less than 6,000, I say that. Now, the state government is saying that they need to bring in more teachers because we have that little hand. It's not enough for us. Now, the state government is saying that they want to try and bring in this hand. But they now have a problem. What's the problem? The paucity of funds, this local government money. So they are not able to do that. And several other things. A new set of people are occupying the offices and saying that they are the legal occupiers of these offices. You are not having access to money which is generally believed, or let me say in some quarters believed, that you're not supposed to have access to because we are not even sure you're supposed to be there. Now, this money has not been disbursed. What are you spending this money on? what is being done for the populace? What is being done for the people? What has been done within the society, within the state, for the betterment of the state with this money? Or are this money just being disbursed into the thin air? Because from what the Speaker of the House has been able to tell us, and the fact that this man representing Algon has not been able to give any responses to anything, he's just saying, okay, he's just spacing.
So the direct allegation.
He has not responded at all. He hasn't. He has just spoken randomly. He has not spoken to anything that was said in any of these documents or in the press release that this man actually made. Right.
All right, Mr. Olabomi, let me tell you, or read out this particular part of this report here. It says here, Idowu, flanked by his colleagues, explained how he and his colleagues have been administering the councils, revealing that traditional rulers have been paid. In other words, that they've been working. Following the cantankerous refusal of the partisan workers to go to work, that's Idowu still speaking, for almost a year, the councils under our administration devised a lawful means by which accounts were opened for the local government councils so as not to allow the entire local government system, for which the federal government has hugely labored for its constitutional survival, to perish in Osun State, has been wished and planned by the same governor, Ademola Adeleke government. Our procedure legally required was observed by the councils and the United Bank for Africa just to religiously ensure there was no infraction of the law. My point of inference here is this Algon chairman said he and his colleagues have been working. That is the APC known councillors. Have they really been working? I mean, could you consider opening of bank accounts, which we're still talking about, you know, in some quarters has been illegal? And then the payment of some traditional rulers, at least that's the only one he said here, that they've been administering the councils, revealing that traditional rulers have been paid. Is that really work? Because he is saying that some partisan workers refuse to go to work, which is, at least to the best of our knowledge as the media, is not true, because the governor specifically said to avoid, you know, the bloodshed that happened way before the elections or around the election period, that they should stay back. And so they should stay away from the councils. Have they really been working? You've moved around Osun State, you've seen the councils. Have there been much work done as opposed to those people that were asked to stay back?
Thank you very much for that question. And I'll start like this. There are several primary healthcare centers in the state. There are medical doctors attached to these primary healthcare centers that stay in their offices at the local government. But because of that bloodshed issue and the violence around it, these people had to leave the offices, which was actually endorsed by the state government. That's legal enough. Now, after moving out, they now had to stay in primary healthcare centers just to make sure that children and women and the people are being attended to. Now, aside from that, which is actually a side way of making sure that work still keeps on going, these people are saying that they found lawful means to open account. When we all know that every single state and local government has their own account that the federal government puts in their allocations into, why would they go and open another account in the first place? It doesn't sound normal. Number two, if you now say there are lawful means which you follow to open this account, all right, let us know what those lawful means are. Now, going forward, you've opened this account, the monies are going there, you said you are working, and you've paid some traditional rulers. Okay, you've paid traditional rulers. What about the workers? What about the jobs that need to be done by the local government? You know, when we're saying that we're bringing autonomy to the local governments, means that local government can actually get work done at the grassroots without the support or the information or the involvement of the state government. If you say that you are working, stop speaking in vacuum. Tell us, pinpoint, this is what we did. This is what we did with teachers.
You don't consider that work enough? Training traditional rulers and
administering the council.
How is that work?
Really?
How is that work? If you go to the bank or on your phone, or even organizations don't go to banks now, you know, they just have somebody there, then there's another person who's going to authorize and all of that. Get all those things done and get money paid out to people. How is that work?
Let's go to a camera because of time. And I'm trying to get something right here. Is there not supposed to be a freezing of that particular account? You know, from on that account, that same account from the UBA. How come the money is now being disbursed according allegedly by the speaker. And what we have now is the payment of traditional rulers. And someone is saying, if nobody is saying something, the traditional rulers should be coming out to say, we are being paid. Or are they supposed to be quiet on the matter?
Yeah, let me start with the issue of that we seek for a consistent means of opening an account.
Yeah, that's. Do you consider that even vague, or is it explicit?
There is no way they can look for a constitutional means of opening an account without the director of finance at the local government, without the permanent secretary at the Ministry of Local Government. So if you are with, because it's a civil servant, that's their job.
Maybe they appointed another one.
They can't.
Hold on, sir, because I remember we had
the Civil Service Commission.
Hold on, sir. We had a particular politician on this place.
Okay.
One of these yes or no chairmen.
Okay.
Who said if those ones refused to come, there were other parts of the Norgate people who were coming to work and they had to work with them.
Okay.
So maybe, just maybe, they made them, they upgraded them.
Despite that one,
HLA.
That's all those ones. By the time they do that one and they are filled from, the Ministry of Local Government, the director and the permanent secretary must append their signature because they are the highest echelon of the civil servant in that local government.
Are they supposed to be part of the signatories?
Of course. The governor is not even the business of the governor.
I know.
So they are the one who prepare voucher. They are the one who, remember I worked with governor before, so I know the procedure in that level. So not only that, I was once attached to a local government in Ikeja some years back too. So the politician, it's not their business.
But they are claiming autonomy now. That's what they are claiming.
The autonomy is just to be free from.
You should have a different account now because of the autonomy.
If you are having autonomy, it's not meant for politicians. The politicians, they are just public officers. It is not their business to look at how their salary is paid. It is those people working as autonomous civil servants who will do that job. They do the legging. If there is, do you know that no government money can disappear, misapply without the civil servant? Because day to day is their job. And one of the three principles that guide the civil servant is secrecy, continuity, and then neutrality. So that's why all the people you find in ministry and local government work for any party that comes to power. So the fact that they have been there does not give them the authority to say, okay, we know some people who can now help us to do it. You can't do it without even the bank. We ask them, why are you duplicating? We have an account with your local government have an account with us. Assuming they do not even have, and they go to another bank, they will still look for the highest authority who will append the signature and the photograph on those accounts.
So, Barrister, what you're saying...
Just a minute, ma'am.
Okay.
Not only that, when this issue came up, the Adeleke government ran to the court to stop them at Ibadan. Remember, the court was on strike in Osun. So that account will not become operative. And they went there about 3 times until the Supreme Court ruled and said the local government have a right to have the access to their fund. And then they even summoned them. APC didn't go back to Ibadan court. So the issue that we brought some people to come and do it without the civil servant at the local government level, without the director of Ministry of Local Government, is an illegality. It cannot be done. And it has not been done. And it's not likely, no matter the autonomy they have. The autonomy said, look, states don't control them. But the local government enclave has, how they oligarchy, they call it, the top, the middle, and the lower rank.
The structure.
They have structure. So, yeah, they are autonomy, but then they have people within local government who are directing the issue.
So these politicians cannot be magnanimous enough to open local government accounts.
What do you mean by magnanimous? It's not a dash.
It's not their job.
You see, look, let me tell you. Civil servants, there are rules that guide them. And I mentioned 3 of them. Neutrality, continuity, and secrecy. So if a local government elected chairman and said, I'm going to open on whose name? In his own name.
He cannot open.
What's continuity? They were going to work.
You are going to work.
Get some work
want to work. It's not their work. They are to occupy. They are to provide them. Do you know, if they come in, they should have gone and buy share now. The furniture they are sitting on, the rug, the AC, it's not their job. Their own is to enjoy the office. Come easy, go easy.
Do you hold the UBA complicit on this matter so far?
Well, to some degree, they did not follow their what we call ethics. they ought to follow the ethics. Look, politician, we've been on this business. Can you get the director of finance? They are the one, because it's not first time they are seeing such a thing. So a politician cannot just come and say, I'm opening on behalf of a local government. There must be people who append their signature. What is your role? What's your position in the local government? Which local government are you representing? Irewole or this one, that kind of thing. So, but somebody say, I'm pro lono, and I was elected local government, and the bank is aware because they can't, because in the days of what you call the social media, they will have read somewhere, Osun has problem with the phone.
Let's ask Mr. Olabomi now. It's the speaker was very categorical, and he repeatedly mentioned former Governor Oyetola in all of this. He even talked about his relationship with the nephew and all of those things. Well, Mr. Oyetola really hasn't really been categorical on the statement. You can virtually find maybe next to nothing as far as statement is concerned about local government administration. But the speaker came to the public to mention him as being the one behind all of this. The governor, a few days ago, mentioned the same Oyetola on this matter. And he called on the president to intervene. Why will the person who is not really in any official capacity in the state be mentioned, the finger repeatedly on this matter without official capacity?
Thank you very much.
Isn't that just politics?
Yeah. First of all, I'm not a fan of all the shenanigans that we bring into leadership in Nigeria. We have a lot of that where you talk to the leadership of a particular ministry, department, or agency. Okay, come and do this. What is happening here? And we have this challenge here. The person just keeps mute for a while, hoping that after a few weeks, everything dies down. And unfortunately, we're a very docile community. We find it very hard to follow through when we have situations going on around us. Now, it's been said that is a nephew, Mr. Oyetola is a nephew of the president. And that, to a lot of people, means that there may be some favoritism game.
But that's not a crime to be associated with the
It is
president.
not a crime to associate with anybody you want. But definitely they will actually point that out. Now, number two, this man here, like I said initially about being silent, about being quiet when you are being fingered or being talked about. Now, we know there is a stakeholder in the APC in Osun State. We know that. We know they had issues within their own political parties that brought separations and all that, and there are games going on politically. We understand. But it will not be bad for him as a person to now say, okay, I'm coming forward. I've been fingered twice at least on this situation. I have no situation around this. I have no finger in this. I have no hand in this. Also, it is. This is what it is. This is what happened. And these are the reasons why I came to play in this space. But keeping quiet for this while, that's just malice to me.
His essay, special advisor, Dr. Bolaji, that's essay to former Governor Oyetola, Dr. Bolaji Akinola, described the Assembly's claims as fabricated and malicious.
Thank you.
Calling them a reckless propaganda designed to distract the public from the state government's own failures and ongoing legal battles. You don't think that's offensive
From this
enough?
thing that you said, that you've read out now, that he said, what has he said actually? Just make a point that he made from all of that.
That's what I'm asking you.
There is none. He hasn't said anything. He just played around the gallery. He didn't say anything. And that is why I said keeping quiet on us is not one of the best ways to lead. That is not even a good sign of a leader. We can't get information from you. You've been alleged to actually be doing some things. Okay, you have been mentioned to be the one disbursing this fund. You know, do you know that even banks now, you could actually walk up to a bank and say that you want to open an account. They tell you we are not opening an account with you. You know, a bank can actually, based on terrorism financing, a bank can actually invite you and tell you, sir, we have seen some things going on around your account, and we need you to please shut down your account with us. A bank has that capacity. So you're opening an account with them, which we do not see as legal. Maybe we are wrong. You understand, the bank is open. Then we are not saying that somebody who is not even in the government is now the one disbursing the funds. And this person is actually keeping quiet. Then somebody comes out and says, okay, I'm his representative. And he just plays around the gallery and says nothing.
All right, Barrister Ogushola went on to say that as of today, Osun State government has instituted 14 cases and 13 have been lost by them. It said the last one is before the Chief Magistrates Court, and they have secured an order of High Court to quash it, and that they're only waiting for the adjourned date, which is February 9. On what grounds, or what are the motives? What do you think would be the motive to get an high court order to quash the particular case? Do you think that it's because the case may have a lot of merit and they may have motives too for wanting to quash the particular one there?
Who has gone to court?
The
PDP.
Algon chairman, yes.
Okay.
Not PDP.
Okay,
PDP has taken us 14 cases,
Okay.
13 of which have been quashed already.
Okay.
According to Ogunshola.
Have been lost, according to Ogunshola, yes.
You see, when you come among the politicians, everybody will have his own story to tell. But as a lawyer, I know so far so good. When the issue of the local government issue came up, the Federal High Court threw away it is the APC that lost the case. They went to the Court of Appeal. They slept on their appeal. When the election of 2025 February came up, it was then they woke up and they told them it's an academic side. So where are the 13 cases they have been mentioning? The issue before us now is this fund we are talking about. The Adeleke government has gone to court. They have even sued the UBA. They published them in the newspaper, which I'm sure you have seen. So far, so good. The day that even the another issue, which has to do with the tenure, they are supposed to appear. They have 10 lawyers. None of them appear. I've been privileged to appear in one of their sisters' medium where they said, what's the implication? I said, this is what we call delay tactics. Because if you have 10 lawyers, none of you appear, you wrote we are busy, that's why you cannot come, and they postpone it. So the issue of maybe somebody lose is not the issue. All that is on the ground now, it just shows to us that in our own country here, law does not really matter. What matters is politics. And we have been saying that if it is so, then we are not better than the military. Even the military, they have some procedure. There are things they cannot do. So if you now open an account and then alleging you, number one, because you have occupied a position as a governor, now that you are now a minister, do you know your character is being maligned? So you either come with your figure or you threaten to go to court and sue them. Because remember, the minister came from Sanford and was alleged that he was the sponsor of the terrorist. Another one happened in Bauchi. They said if the minister of the commissioner of finance was financing terrorism. And former Attorney General of the Federation, Abubakar Malami, has been accused and is currently cooling down in the prison. So if you have such a thing, and we expect if not just Akinola to speak, is the governor, they say you, as a governor, you are illegally tampering with money. And remember, the man he used to be an insurance person. So he knows what it means by figure. So if they are using figure, they say this one 30 billion, that's one 10 billion, this one, the local government. So you should be able to come out with figure.
All right, barrister, quickly before we go, because we're at a loss for time.
Yeah.
You're a barrister, I mean, and there have been several voices that have spoken to this Osun issue. Several voices from civil society organizations and several quarters. How do you see this? Do you see it's deeply concerning that in all of this, the AGF seem to have a voice in the build-up to the election, asking that election not hold, I mean, in Osun. Now we're talking about this issue of allocation and all of this. Do you find it deeply concerning that in all of this, the AGF seem to be silent? The president has not really said anything. Is it concerning?
You see, if you know the background of AGF, he was one of the lawyers that have been backing the president during his tribunal. So giving him the offer is a compensation. And remember too, before the local government election last year, himself and Inspector John said that election should not be. And they said, that's not your business. You are AGF of Federation, not AGF of Osun. So once election is announced, it is those people who feel aggrieved that can go to court. So the AGF cannot be a party in the issue that has to do with another state. And even by the end of the day, they even said the AGF, there's somebody who's supposed to have not the AGF of Osun, there's somebody in the local government who's supposed to take the case against them. Yeah. So if you look at all these ones, you will know it is not because there is no law. Right? Some people say, I say, what of the law there? People ignore it because they have political power. So they are simply using the power of the federation. For example, if you say, okay, they have violated contempt of court, if I commit contempt of court now, do you know the judge will issue, go and arrest Obaditan. But who will go and arrest the arrester?
All right. We are totally out of time. I just need your final take, Mr. Olabomi.
Thank you very much.
15 seconds.
I think that as Nigerians, we should start looking at how we bring people who are actually competent people into positions of leadership, where we are able to actually follow the law and not just circumvent the law. And when we have that, I believe that very shortly we can actually achieve betterment and development as a nation.
All right, that would be a good place to leave it. Pastor Moses Obaditan and Mr. Olatubosun Olabomi, thank you for your time today. And of course, this is it's just there. It's not just developing. It has been ongoing and ongoing. We'll speak to other critical stakeholders on this matter because the right things must be done. Femi Ojo is my name, and I see.
All right, we'll make a return tomorrow for the midweek installment of Morning Spring on Western Spring Television. For today, deep thanks for joining us on the show. My name is Temitope Ajijola. See you tomorrow.